Off the grid is absolutely blowing up right now, and you're looking to get to that next level and start dominating in your lobbies and getting all these dubs. Well, these 5 must-know tips will help you get more kills and dubs. I can guarantee you guys. Me and my squad, we've been running through. I have over a 2 KD. I have about a 20% win percentage, so let's get into these tips for y'all. So tip number 1 is to be aggressive, like many BR games, but this game especially rewards aggression. The movement and overpowered close range weapons such as the Squall and the Tacoma or the Kite or the Fleesner shotgun, like all the shotguns and SMGs are very, very powerful right now. This allows you to take fights head on and be the aggressor in these fights, because 9 times out of 10, whoever starts that fight and is the aggressor is going to win that fight. So be aggressive and abuse the overpowered close range meta that is happening right now. You'll quickly wipe teams and rack up those kills. Tip number 2 is going to be movement, movement, movement. The movement in this game, guys, I cannot overstate how important it is and how much I absolutely love it. You should always have a movement limb on your loadout. If you haven't gotten your loadout yet, you need to prioritize picking up a movement limb when you're looting. This can be anything from the leapers, road runners, or even the hookshot arm if you're in a pinch. My favorite is the leapers. I love the leapers. If you get the epic, you get 3 leaps and you can get out of everything. So these mobility limbs are to be aggressive, going back to tip number 1, but the most important thing about them is the escape capability they give you. When caught in a bad position, or if you're left as the last one alive and you need to get away to get a res off, buy your teammates back, this movement cannot be understated. That's what really is going to keep your team alive until the end game. Tip number 3, guys, we're going to go talk about loadouts a little bit. So having a cheap loadout with just like guns and stuff, it's so helpful. You should always have your fully stacked loadout available with your best weapons and limbs and your favorite stuff. However, we all know this loadout is going to cost upwards of 5,000 or 6,000 rips. I know mine's at about 6,000 right now. To set you up for the best chance in the early game, you should set some loadouts, maybe one loadout with your best primary and secondary weapon, and then another loadout with your favorite limbs, anything like that. That way you can get in, and if you don't get good loot, but you get like 1,000 rips, you can buy that loadout and you'll be set. You'll feel comfortable taking those early fights. This is going to help you a lot in the early game. Moving on to tip number 4, guys. So this is going to be the final circle strats that I've been using that have really helped me win a lot of games here. So if you've made it to the final circle in a lot of these matches, you know as well as I do that the circle normally fully closes on multiple teams. We're all going to be standing there taking storm damage, circle damage, whatever you want to call it. And this means we're going to be taking that damage while frantically trying to take down the other teams around us. To help increase our odds, we need to stack ourselves with self-revives and use all of our limb abilities at that time when the circle closes and everybody's right there. Don't leave anything in your playbook, leave it all out there. So a couple of the limb abilities that I like, especially for endgame, Ghost is one of my favorites. It's helped me clutch a lot of dubs. Go invis, right as the circle closes, loop around the other teams and just demolish them with a squall or whatever you have. Another one, or a couple ones that are good, is the Skunk Paw and Foster's Fury. Any of those area of effect limbs are great for dealing damage in that final circle to help you take out those enemies before you go down to the storm inevitably. And lastly, guys, tip number 5 is going to be a marketplace tip. Spend all your gun. For those of you who have not heard or do not know, the current in-game currency will be reset upon the game coming out of early access. This does not mean all the cosmetics, everything you've earned in-game through hex extractions and everything you've bought will remain with your account. This means you should be buying everything you want as soon as possible. Don't let that hard-earned gun go to waste. We all know it comes scarcely. So this is what I've been doing. Every time I get into a game and I pick something up, or I see somebody running a loadout that I want to try, or I want to try a new limb combination, I just immediately go to the marketplace and I buy the epic variation of that limb, gun, whatever it may be. And that's normally like a good gun. Epic is normally like 77 gun, but just spend it, guys. Especially if you're on the pro membership, it's worth it. You'll make it back in no time. So y'all should definitely be doing that. But those are 5 tips that I really think are going to help you guys increase your win rate and your KDR in this awesome new BR that I've been having a lot of fun with. So I hope this helps you all get those dubs. I hope this helps your squad. Share it with your friends. If you didn't know any single one of these tips or gained at least a little knowledge from this video, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out. It's been Crow, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Oh, I won that, Jared. Jared.